Naughty or Nice with Miss Cassie. I'm so glad you have all decided to join us tonight because my very special guest is Anja Knees.
Hi, everybody.
And some know her as Tiffany.
Some do.
Some do. Anyways, I'm so glad that you're here.
This is great. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so thanks for inviting me.
Well, absolutely. I mean, our paths have crossed in interesting ways. I mean, I met you through Nikki.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, I believe originally I was booking stuff for, I don't know if you went to that one. Did you go with her to the Club Hentai one where she did that?
I did not. I heard good things about that, though. That was amazing.
So that was
some pictures.
Yeah, that's the first time I met her.
Oh, wow.
You know, and she was awesome. And I guess probably the first time that I met you was at the Betty Page tribute party.
I think so, yeah. Nikki is Nikki Nefarious, a great rigger who I just love and am lucky enough to have been working with for a while. And yeah, she and I performed as I was Betty Page. Yes. She was my jealous girlfriend.
Oh, and so cute.
It was a lot of fun. And I think, I think that was the first time that we saw you. That event was amazing. And
wasn't it fun? And you were one of the few people that actually dressed like Betty Page. I thought, there would be so many more.
Well, that's the thing, though. And I'm sure people out there know that when you go see a show, for me, you want a little drama. You want a little costume. You want a little color. And I happen to have a huge costume collection.
Yay!
So if someone says there's a themed event, I'm there. I'll put on anything and go perform for an excuse. So, and Betty Page, that was actually the first time I'd ever been suspended in rope where it was a dynamic rig, where when I moved one part of my body, another one moved. And we had never had the opportunity to practice that in an open space. We just had a rope hanging from a spiral staircase in the alley by my house.
Oh my goodness.
And we just tried to make sure I could breathe in the rope. And once we knew that, Nikki said, I'm sure you'll be able to dance and then it'll be fine. And that's what we did.
And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
I did get that link posted on the event announcement. I didn't get it in like the body of it, but in the comments section. So I'm hoping some people actually clicked on that and saw what you're talking about because it's fabulous.
It's a lot of fun. If you want to see me dressed as Betty Page, getting tied up by a jealous girlfriend who's just drugged my date and then suspended above a stage and spanked until I fly and dance in pasties and leopard skin underwear, this is your chance. Follow the link.
Yes. Go to the announcement on Facebook. And if you look in the comments section, I posted the Betty Page link. And then, of course, I also posted the one that we did. It was
the disco ball.
The disco ball.
That was so much fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh! I was watching. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing all the way through, but I decided to do that the other day. We had a blast.
I think it's like 18 minutes.
Yes, it is.
18 minutes of full-on burlesque and rope.
Oh, it was hilarious because here I am trying to bind your legs into a disco ball, and I'm just like, oh, fuck it. I threw the rope down and just let you spin, and you just danced in the air. It was amazing.
It was, well, that's one of my favorite things, honestly. So many people look at shibari in so many different ways, and that's why I like calling it shibari, because when I say rope bondage, a lot of friends won't come to see me. They don't get, and I have nothing against, I'm very pro rope bondage.
I know it's been a very popular term since the early 90s. It seems to be, the go-to term these days for rope bondage. Everybody feels so fancy saying it. I started out doing Western DID bondage like 35 years ago.
DID?
Damsel in distress.
Oh, damsel in distress. Sorry. Oh, I'm very bad at looking scared. Nikki's always, she's like, you need to look scared. I'm like, I just can't. I just can't. It's the thing though. It's rope bondage. And for me, it doesn't feel like bondage when it's done well and it's done by a professional and when you know how to relax into the ropes as a rope bunny, it's flying. Yes. It's not bondage. If anything, it's a kind of liberation. And when she binds me in different ways, or when you've done it, I can do things that I'm not capable of doing on the ground. And that,
Well, of course not.
yeah, it's
Of
just
course
not possible. 170 spins, by the way, I did with you.
Really?
You spun me upside down 170 times in a row.
Holy shit!
In a minute and 48 seconds.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
People say, "Do you get dizzy doing that?" Not during. It's when you come down that the world just doesn't stop for a while. But that was amazing. I've never spun that many times before with anyone else.
Oh my goodness!
So congratulations.
Oh, thank
That
you,
was
thank
great.
you. Oh, of course, that particular harness is just so versatile.
What kind of harness?
It's a drum harness, is what it is, and I've modified it. Well, I tie it. Each woman that I tie it on, I tie it to fit their body. The original tutorial site that I got it off of actually ties it down here low on the hips. Well, a lot of women were feeling very insecure with it that low on the hips, feeling like when they flipped upside down, they were going to slip out of it. So I redesigned it, and I went and I used their hip bones to anchor it with. And lo and behold, it's like they can do anything in that harness now.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I didn't know that you would have to go that low. I thought it would be like a center of gravity thing.
No, I just, figured out how to hook it. And it's still the same premise of, working with the rope that goes up between the legs there. But it's just the way that it works with
Can look and see where it's been lower and higher. I mean, you probably don't know this because we've been in classes together and it shows and things, but I don't know nothing. I'm as ignorant as they come when it comes to this. And in a way, it's sort of deliberate. I mean, the whole way I even got involved is just bizarre on its own. But I kind of feel that at some point, if I find out what I'm doing and I understand where all the ropes are going and how they work, I'm going to have that Wile E. Coyote moment where he's perfectly comfortable off the edge of the cliff, you know, and everything is fine. And then he looks down, and then it's the yipe moment. And I'm terrified that if I actually learn all the different names of the riggings and what I'm supposed to be able to do and what I'm not supposed to be able to do, that's going to limit me and keep me from being able to do the kind of things I can do in the air. And very honestly, that means so much to me, that time in the air, in the ropes, specifically being suspended. People make fun of me for this because it sounds like I'm looking for compliments, but I'm really not. It's the only time I ever feel beautiful. It's the only time I ever feel special and beautiful in the ropes.
I used to crave that. I loved being suspended, especially when I had an opportunity to be suspended on stage. There's just something really special about that. That's why I still do self-suspension. And it's just, to spin and you feel so graceful and so beautiful. You're like an angel in the air.
And just weightless.
Yeah.
Just absolutely weightless. And when it's done right, like the way, when you rig me, when Nikki rigs me for photography, I try to tell people it's as if someone has taken an extra part of you didn't know you had. And it fits exactly where it needs to fit on your muscle. It's exactly the right tightness. And no matter how you move, it becomes like a part of you. And I'm not going to lie. There's one rig that I could barely fucking breathe. I mean, it was the pictures, I look graceful and lovely and I'm floating. But honest, there was like 45 seconds there where it was kind of touch and go for me.
No, I totally get that. I've been tied within an inch of my life, And fortunately, I can do Zen meditation because I had a former Don that would tie me in Hojo Jitsu ties and tied me in a compressed inverted ebi. And
that sounds upside down and like you can't move arms and legs. Is that
exactly? And eventually, if you're in it long enough, it will suffocate you because it just keeps closing the diaphragm and the lungs smaller and smaller space.
Obviously, that didn't happen. Otherwise, you're a charming ghost.
No, it didn't happen. But fortunately for him, I'm into meditation. I was, an athlete. I was a gymnast. So I knew how to slow down my heart rate. I knew how to slow down my breathing. And I was able to endure that tie. They said I was up for well over 20 minutes, which is unheard of.
That's ridiculous. You shouldn't be doing that.
I know.
That's craziness.
But, It is crazy.
It's within an inch of your life. I'm only 5
I
foot 2 inches
know.
tall. I don't have that many inches to spare.
I know, but the thing is, I don't know if I could ever do that again. But at that moment in the time, I was able to do that, and it's a moment I'll never forget. It's unbelievable. It's like this Zen moment, and it's like I didn't care if anybody was watching me, nobody was watching me. It was just me and universal consciousness, and just floating in the ether realm.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That is so exactly not at all how I feel up there. That's great. Yeah, that's so amazing. You're in tune with yourself and floating in the air. And mine is all completely willpower of fuck you, I'm not going to show you that this hurts until I can't take it. Which I've had to really learn is like the difference between fighting my own brain and saying fuck you, this doesn't really hurt, don't deal with it, and knowing when my body is telling me this isn't an option. People enjoy different kinds of pain, but there's a point, and it was really hard for me because as opposed to finding that Zen place, I find that sort of, I look for the competition, something to beat, and that's not safe. If you choose, if it's me against the rope, eventually my body will tell me no, but sometimes I'm really lucky that I have Nikki when we're doing performances because she knows me well enough to do things that like DOMs, because we're not in a Dom sub relationship, but a Dom might not always push their sub to be like, does this really hurt? Does this? And she knows my body so well. She can tell when my fingers are a little too cold and all of that. And I've learned now when to say no. I have. Really, I swear to God, I've learned how to say no. And it's hard that you want to always extend yourself, with that. And the one time I extended myself beyond what I knew I should be doing, I ended up permanently hurt. I have a little bit of permanent nerve damage that when I go hiking, sometimes if my foot comes down the wrong way, it's like a little stabbing in my leg. It's going to be there forever. It's my fault. I knew something was wrong and I should have said it. And I thought I could beat physics, but you can't beat physics. Physics always wins.
I used to try to hold things longer than I could too. Well, mostly because I had a Dom. It was like, he was not going to let me down until he was getting ready to let me down. So there was just no fucking sense in complaining. So I would learn to, just to relax into it. And there's sometimes I know when it was cutting me bad. I can see this one photo shoot we did, and the photos are beautiful. But my arm is, bright purple. It has been in that bondage, in that position, in such a heinous position. And from here down, the entire arm is purple, and you can see it. And it's just like, yeah, but it's like, and I did one suspension after another that was like an 8-hour photo shoot, constant suspension. And there was a concrete floor. So it was like at times I was dropped on that and turned, and yeah, it was pretty wild.
I see. And that's the difference. I think you would be, now I'm going to sound like a complete pussy, but you would be more willing to do that than I would. I think for 8 hours of suspension, if I weren't able to have the flexibility of movement that I wanted to have and the flying, I wouldn't do it. It's kind of the same way. I'm not enjoying the thought. But at some point, I recognize that my body is going to age out of me being able to do this. There's just going to come a time where that is. So, and I'm worried because I love the suspension so much.
But you changed the suspension. I can't do what I used to do. I'm not near the masochist I once was. Matter of fact, I had the masochist beaten out of me, basically. I am no longer a masochist.
I really want a bumper sticker that says I had the masochist beaten out of me.
But it's true. It's true. That's basically what happened to me. Now, I do self-suspension now, and I was playing with Charlie B for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And, and I do
met
that.
Man a dozen times. Still don't think he recognizes me once. I think I just have to stop wearing wigs every time. I really do. So hi, Charlie, if you're out there. This is what I look like without a wig.
He's on the road. Have you caught his posts on Facebook?
No, but
he's traveling the country. Oh my God. I love Charlie. Charlie, I miss you. I can't wait till you come back, but I'm so glad you're having a blast.
Well, so I wanted to ask you something. So when did you start? Like, I know, like we said, like I almost only perform with Nikki, and because she's awesome, and she's my little geeky South Carolina fellow redhead, you know, and she's full of love, and even if she's tying the meanest suspension in the world, it's still full of love. And for me, like, I know her story and when she started playing with rope, and I feel that when she's tying me. Why did you pick up rope? I'll tell you what. You tell me why you pick up rope, and I'll tell you when I being picked up by rope.
Well, which part of rope? When I got introduced to Japanese rope bondage, or when I got introduced to Western rope bondage?
Whichever one happened first.
Western. I was probably 19, and I think somebody tied me up during sex or something. That happened a lot during my 20s. I don't know how.
Oh, well, right back at you. Well done. Apparently, we knew a lot of the same people for a while, but yeah.
And plus, I'd been playing, with rope since I was a kid. I was a professional water skier. I'd been around boats all my life. I was used to tying things off, doing crazy shit on water skis because I was a show skier. And some of the stuff we'd have to do with rope and whip it around and catch ourselves and bring ourselves up and pull ourselves up on pyramids and. So I mean, I was already doing crazy shit.
I'm so excited now. This is a whole thing I did not know you did. So
yeah, and I mean, of course, the Harry Houdini games as kids, and I just wouldn't take it from the guys that I couldn't do what they could do when we played, and I tied them to the pole.
Oh, I bet if you have sailing
and threatened to light them on fire.
Did you light them on fire?
No, but I would take, the caps and stuff, and we would, make little bomb things and blow it up and watch them go jump.
That's perfectly legal. Yeah.
We bought the caps at 7-Eleven.
Okay, that must be.
Yeah. Well, of course, we did separate it and pour all the gunpowder out. Kids will be kids.
Hey, I grew up in a fireworks state, so that wasn't a problem for us.
I grew up in California. We didn't. Fireworks were not legal, but we still managed to have fun.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes. So, I just, as a kid, I mean, especially the gymnastics, and this is the one thing I do love about suspension, because I was one of those gymnasts that aerials were my thing. I could do aerial cartwheels. All the way down the gym, no hands, that was me. And I can do that now in the air. Cause I, at some point in my 20s, I ripped a muscle in my back. So I can't do handstands anymore. And, of course, I'm 55 now. So yeah, I can still
limit.
Yeah,
you gotta floor it.
I am. It's like I can still do cartwheels and some round-offs and stuff. But yeah, my days of backflips and all that, no, that's not going to work. And like not being able to do a handstand, but up in the air, I can do that again.
No body weight.
And I don't have to worry about this arm that doesn't work like it's supposed to, and it's freaking cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now I also want to go water skiing, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the mood to go water skiing now. I just want to watch you tie a bunch of boat shit together and see how fast.
No, I haven't been in years, but I can show you my pictures from my water ski team actually did the stunt work for a Disney film. Oh, wow. It's like totally trippy.
I will absolutely check that out.
Yeah, I'll have to show you sometime. It's hard to believe. I've done some fun things in my life.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So I actually didn't start my fetish model career until my late 40s.
Hey, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Did you do any kind of athletic modeling or?
Oh, every once in a while I get a modeling job here or there for something, or, mostly just pervy boyfriends that just like to, take pictures of me. That happen a lot.
Oh, wow. And that's back when you had to take them somewhere and have them developed. That's always fun. You had to be really good friends with the guys in the photo.
I had a whole collection of Polaroids. I since had to destroy some of those because
otherwise it looks like you're a serial killer in Florida.
Oh, God. Some of the stuff that's in those, yeah, just trust me. You know,
I don't mean to be offensive. Not all serial killers are in Florida. Some of them have moved from Florida to other parts of the country.
Well, actually, you know, the man that took most of the photos was from Minnesota.
Ah, Viking.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, actually, he was half German, half English.
That seems like a Viking. And,
I suppose.
Saxon.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like he could ransack something. He's a big boy. 6'1", anywhere between 275 and 350.
Okay, that's too big.
Yeah.
So why the Western bondage?
Because that's what we knew back in the late 70s, early 80s. That's what we saw in those smut magazines and on Backpage. When you bought a bondage book back then, it was a Betty Page book, and she was tied in a certain way. I grew up watching Dudley Do-Right tying Nell to the train tracks, and well, Dudley rescued. It was delightful.
We're all equally competent at their jobs.
Yes,
that's what we can agree on.
Yes. You know, I mean, that was my first exposure basically to bondage, was watching that cartoon, Dudley Do-Right. And think about it. She gets tied up a lot by, you know, to the sawmill, to the train tracks, to Horace, and that relationship they had with Horace. I mean, no questionable.
No, I agree. I think there's something definitely there.
Yeah.
For me, it was The Lonely Doll. It's a children's book from the 1960s from a photographer who had this lovely little doll. And so she took a bunch of black and white photos of this doll and her two teddy bears going throughout the day. They get dressed, they go on a hike, they have a tea party, but then the doll tries on mommy's shoes and dresses and puts on too much lipstick. So Papa, a teddy bear, has to put her over his knee and spank her. So in the book, I clearly remember, not that I just recently bought a copy of this for my friend's baby or anything, but yeah, there's a picture of a teddy bear with a little doll in her little skirt, giving her a big spank.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and I just remember seeing that as a little girl. I just thought it was like, it just appealed to me in some way and stuck in my head, and then it kind of just never really
spanking.
Yeah,
being spanked by a furry.
But it's a doll. I mean, it's very precious and cute in its own way.
Well,
it's not
I
like a
deal
real
with precious
man
dolls
in a bear
all the
costume.
time. They just happen to be human.
Aw. That's kind of adorable. I feel like I deal with more marionettes being pulled by strings I can't see.
Yeah.
Just some music that makes no sense to me. You know? And I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to be directing it or applauding or adding strings on somewhere. I guess I am.
Yes.
That's why I'm here. I'm adding more strings.
There you go. You know, it's okay just to play and have fun. Is there any questions in that chat room yet, Mel?
They talked about the damsel in distress bondage. They said it sounded really nice. That was from Tiger. And Darren says, I like being tied to a railroad track. And then Tiger says, not necessarily, but I like the role play life or death situation. Mm-hmm. And then we have a lot of people that are watching that are not in the chat room. If you are watching the show and you're not in the chat room, shoot on over to TSR Network, you know, and go into TSR Network Watch Live and come into the chat room and ask your burning questions of our wonderful guest and our wonderful host.
Oh, and it was Darren who likes to be tied to train tracks. Was that right?
Yep, Darren likes to be tied to railroad tracks.
If I may recommend, if you are in the Los Angeles area, there is a chocolate and art show downtown that right next to that is a beautiful stretch of 60 feet of railroad track. And it doesn't connect to anything else, but it's right near real railroad, so you can hear the trains coming. Alternately, San Juan Capistrano, great spot for train track time.
Wow.
Yeah. I do walk around looking for cool places for suspension and costume.
I got tied to a chain link fence once on an airport runway.
I got caught on a chain link fence when I was trying to get away from cops who found us drinking underage at Riverbank Zoo. Does that count?
No. But I remember doing a gorilla bondage shoot in Griffith Park and trying to avoid the Rangers.
Oh, that's easy. I had
bark butt for a week.
So you should.
was
Nikki
naked
and I
in the
should up
tree.
in Griffith Park all the time. I have a couple of trails up there that are perfect for shooting.
Yeah. Well, it was fun. We were
Yeah.
having fun. That was half the fun of the shoot. Are you kidding? Trying to figure out how to hide the car and avoid the people.
I think it's one of the things that really got me hooked on it. I mean, 2 years ago, I never even heard of shibari. Like rope bondage,
Really?
if you had said there's a thing called rope bondage, I would have said that's people
2
grabbing
years
rope and
ago,
just tying
really?
people to beds and fucking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't until I started this Anja Knees Facebook account for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
And one day, you start accumulating friends.
Yes.
I don't know, especially if it's kind of a burlesque-y,
Yes.
high on chesty kind of Facebook page.
Yes.
And I kept seeing people who knew this redheaded girl, and I didn't really pay any attention at first because there's lots of redheads out there.
Yes.
But then I did a little Facebook stalking since she showed up, and she's from my hometown. She went to the same schools I did. We're both redheads. We both have Ballingers in our families,
Wow.
all of this stuff. And she lived close by to me.
Oh,
And so I made friends with her on Facebook. She invited me to her birthday party, Miss Nikki Nefarious birthday party. And it was the first time I'd seen human beings tied up to be serving trays and, with their hands out holding
Nice.
strawberries and chocolates. And my friend went with me, and
how fun.
I know she's watching out there in Boston, and she's just picked up rope like breathing. It just came right naturally to her. And I picked up standing, being tied with rope really well.
Well, as a rope top, I really appreciate that.
Thank you. As a rope bunny, I appreciate you appreciating that. But then, like literally that day, I'd never met this amazing woman before. But she was giving me fruit and champagne.
Nice.
And so I'm already in my wheelhouse there. And she goes, "You're really good at this," which is the easiest way to get me to do anything. And I go, "Well, thanks." And she goes, "Have you ever heard of Sanctuary LAX?" And I'm like, "I have recently," because they also showed up as friends, and it's this cool club. And I just went down there and saw a Broadway themed burlesque show, and it was awesome. And I wish I could dance or sing because I would totally be into that. But all I bring to burlesque is this, and a desperate desire to entertain. But she's like, "Oh, that's great. I'm going to be performing there in 3 weeks. How about you perform with me?"
Nice.
And when called upon in front of people and challenged to do something that I haven't done before, I'm always going to say yes. I don't want to say yes. There's some part of me that knows I should not be saying yes. The same part of me that is drunk like at 1 o'clock in the morning and decides to start texting people, like that part of my brain, like says, don't do that. No, I do it anyway. And so 3 weeks later, even though I have stage fright like nobody's business every single time.
Yeah, but once you're up there, you can't see anybody.
No, once I'm up there, are you kidding me? The audience and the attention and the love and the fun. Once I get up there, I don't ever want to get down. Like I did and I loved it. The first show we did was a geisha, like a evil ninja and geisha.
Did you guys do one of Mariah's shows?
Yeah, Brazen. Oh yeah, Mariah. Yeah.
Yes. Brazen Strumpet.
Yeah.
I guess that's the name she was going with. Yeah, because I did a double girl suspension that night.
You did 2 girls all in blue.
Yeah, they were in their little kimonos, and I gifted them their little Hello Kitty dolls and everything. Yeah, that was a sweet story.
Yeah, ours was mine was I was in the little red thing, and I was being a bad geisha and had to be fish.
Oh, I think I do. That was such a good event. Oh, I wish she would come back and do events again.
Yes, I do too.
Yes, I know. We miss you, honey. Come out of retirement.
I don't know how many other people are going to let me perform at a Broadway themed burlesque event. Again,
Yeah,
I can't
her
sing,
events
can't
were
dance.
fabulous, and I really miss them. So polished.
My favorite one, and right after that we did, which really, every time I told everyone, I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I'm never doing this again because I don't just get, I'm nervous. I throw up. I get sweaty. Like I got toilet paper shoved under my armpits. I'm doing my lipstick 50 times. I'm cursing every god that any man ever imagined for letting me get myself every time, hands down. Which is weird because I'm kind of a loud, gregarious, lovely people person, but right before I go on stage, it's a whole. And so I think I'm not doing it again. And then 3 weeks later, she's like, "Do you want to be a Venetian courtesan from the 1600s?" Well, of course I do. I haven't asked for that. So we did that, and I was a wicked courtesan who hid change and bags of money all over her body. So
awesome.
Nikki kept ripping off the dress and ripping off hot glue coins and throwing them to the audience. But that's what I like. I mean, I don't know, you and I have had this talk before. It's one thing to tie someone up and smack them around on stage, which is great.
Oh,
At the time,
sure, I've been there.
for me, I want a story. Even if it's only a sketch of a relationship to add a story to a bondage act. It doesn't mean anything to me, like as an audience member, just to see two people walk out in left shorts and hit each other with flails. I prefer for someone to like back out scared in front of the person with the flails. And I think that's one of the things that Nikki keeps getting me back with, because it's not just the flying thing. It's being able to be a writer and tell a story and set a scene and put a stage in there and know that there are marks that I'm going to hit at different points. You know,
Yes,
I know
the first few years I started writing on stage, I did very heavily choreographed scenes like that. And they were a blast. The hardest part I had with it was getting everybody to rehearsal. I
don't talk about it.
Oh, well, I actually had the music planned out. The whole thing was choreographed. I mean, it was funny you should mention Play-Doh.
You will be here at 9.
Yes, the Play-Doh thing. I actually did a Kill the Rabbit thing, and it was hilarious. I actually saran wrapped one of my bunnies to the strip pole and had saran wrap Play-Doh in her, and took a knife and cut the saran wrap up and made her into a Play-Doh factory.
That is really funny. When you said kill the rabbit thing, I thought you meant kill the rabbit.
Yeah, that was one of the songs. Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit.
Oh, kill the You're So
Yes,
Lovely.
yes, we did. That was part of the music.
I'm so happy right now.
I did play that whole set because it just had all the best.
If you want to do one in Little Armenia, I have a great song for that. It's Russian is terrible, but my love Savannah. Gosh, I hit you, she gets it wrong. Umi Zechmoy, which means a little Russian thing, nursery rhyme. Bang, bang, oh no, my rabbit is dying.
Nice.
Yeah, it's romantic.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. I killed 3 rabbits that night, and one of them was pregnant.
No.
It was so much fun. I you say coffee on it. You know, I said, no, we're going to your belly pictures. It's like, trust me.
That's not what I thought. But that is awesome.
So I got around and I'm like, pulling this stuff.
I thought you were doing some kind of 1950 pregnancy test on yourself. You use an actual word for that.
No, I'm dressed up. It's purple lace woman. It was fun.
Fun fact: for $45, you can adopt a trio of rabbits from Heifer International and have a third country raised for families.
There you go.
And, so you get a trio of rabbits.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like,
I prefer him.
it is not. And you do. And I remember that from the classes. The only thing I remember about in him was when we I call it back and bake. She calls it very flight. Skirt, corsets, and long like gowns hanging from the trees and stuff like that. And it felt really natural and earthy, but that's the only time I've had any kind of light vibration. Like other ropes, the synthetics, they never seem.
They're much softer. I mean, I do just about everything.
Do you like it because the slip as much, or
It's just, you know, when I started getting serious about suspension and stuff, that's what I learned, and that's, you know, the people I was running around. I was going to Shibari Con and hanging out, you know, watching the guys doing all their fancy stuff, and they're all like, "Oh, you have to use it." I don't but the hand has served me well. Now my hand is probably not as rough as what you were tied with, because mine is so well conditioned.
Oh no, this was very, you can see that it looks gorgeous because the little extra bits.
Oh, yes, that's gorgeous. But you remember soccer, right? You did that class. That's my. It's been it's really soft. It's just because it's well conditioned over the years. You know, and yeah.
I know my friend Angela, that was her first experience ever, which
She was precious.
You know, here's my question for you. That's what she's full of yoga. Like she's like centered and she's got a balance that I don't have. I just kind of keep falling to the left, and then when I'm trying to fall more to the right, and eventually if I do that often enough, it sort of looks like I'm balanced.
Okay.
But she's got the whole yoga thing down, and I've watched you move, and you have good balance too. Is that any aspect at all that you kind of like to have some kind of yoga or
it's really bendy, and I can do some really fun stuff to them. I've got one woman who's a dancer that I get to tie. I haven't done a suspension with her in a while, but the floor stuff that I found with her, I can tie this woman in a straddle split on balance beam and then lean her forward. I did this. I did this balance beam that was about 4 feet where I had to straddle it, strap her legs to it, made her lean forward to it, and I had it buttoned up too. Arms up like this, and then ride it through, rope around, ready to turn her back.
you single?
No, she's not. She's not. But her
I would
husband
think she wouldn't be able to do the straddle split like that. Yeah, good job. Good job, man. I've never been able to split my whole life. I do not think that rope.
No. She is fortunate. She is a professional dancer, so it's always, every time she comes up to help, she's like, she loves it. She likes things like that. And I just think it's so much fun. It's like, turn belly forward. I have to do that next time.
Like for mine.
Yeah.
She'll love that.
I think she will. I think she will.
So do you give, I know that it doesn't happen often, it should happen more often, that subs or bottoms will reach out and ask me for stuff, to be honest, because I think it does often get told from your perspective, how to's, and the people who are the subs or the bottoms learn the how to's. I think they were pretty gracefully. They're learning to get backward from what you're doing.
Well, so I don't know what other people do in their class, but the bottom is very much. We talk about their role, how to protect themselves. We spend an extensive amount of time on the intake at the top should be doing with their bottom. Likewise, I let the bottoms know, you need to be responsible too. Everybody needs to be in good health today, not just the bottom, not just the top. And, we take a lot of in that sub that without their care, too much. But, nobody ever told me about sub drop and all this stuff, people experience with the ropes.
I'm assuming sub drop is some badass West Hollywood club that I just haven't been to yet.
Yeah, I know. You wish. No, they just talk about, the dropping endorphins the next day. Just like with the runner's high, when you're done running and you've come completely down from it, a lot of people will go into a minor depression. And that's basically what happens from, people that bottom for certain kinds of play, especially, suspension. The endorphins are flying, and you're in what they call subspace or an altered state of consciousness that is just flipping fucking awesome. Or endorphins are going, but then, they ride that to the end of the night. Like I just played with a young girl on Saturday night, and
oh, that sounds bad.
Yes, I know. I love playing with girls, but we finished our scene around 11 and everything, and I go, well, I'm gonna go home now. And I said, are you going to hang out? Or are you going to, and she says, well, I said, I would prefer you went home. She says, but I feel fine. I said, I would prefer you went home. She said, okay, yes, mistress. She went home. Now she's supposed to text me when she gets home. I make all my bottoms do this if I play, especially if I do a heavy scene, because I want to make sure they're okay. Didn't get a text. Didn't get one to the next morning. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She says, you were so right. It's just the second I got in, sat down, she says, I was out.
It's amazing how much of an effect that it has on you, not just physically while you're performing. I mean, I talked to you about, after we did the disco ball thing, I felt really good for 15, 20 minutes. And while I was on stage, that was just fantastic. But maybe 15 minutes later, I got snappy, like PMS kind of snappy, just real. And I just wanted to leave. I wanted to get out of there. And I went outside and the cold air hit me. And that's when I knew I was going to be really ill for the next 12 hours. And I went back over my list of things, of all the things I should have done and didn't do. I didn't eat enough the hour beforehand. Always go in with a full stomach. If you're going to fly a plane, if you're going to go skydiving, always full stomach.
Yes.
I didn't hydrate appropriately beforehand. You handed me 2 bottles of water and you wouldn't leave until I drank one of them. I remember that. Usually I lay down on the floor and, just let my breathing come back. I didn't. I ran out to go see all of my friends who were out there and started excitedly talking about how great it was. So I just kept trying to amp myself up. I never stretched afterwards. And when I got home, I drank half a bottle of wine and didn't take a bath and went right to bed. So I woke up, threw up for half a day. My head hurt, my body hurt, everything. And it was all avoidable.
Yes.
If I had stopped and spent 99 cents on fries on my way in, if I had sat down backstage and waited 20 minutes, and I don't do I don't do bondage play in my sex life. I don't have a sex life. But if I had a sex life, there's not really, I don't know. It's just, I haven't been with someone in a long time who was really into it. It's not like a huge thing for me. It doesn't have to be. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be. I mean, either it's good sex or it isn't. It's sometimes fun to play.
Exactly.
But, for me, I mean, it isn't an end all. It's just like either I'm into that person or I'm not.
But when I do it, that means that I don't have the benefit of the whole bottom top or dom sub relationship. And while you and Nikki are fantastic about the aftercare, it's very hard for me to ask for it.
Yes.
And it's very easy for me to push it away when I need it. So it's hard to try for me to establish that aftercare relationship, and instead of just taking all that physical stress and the endorphins in on myself. And that's been a real challenge so to hear that you're, telling people to go home and rest. Yeah. I tell myself that, and then I'm just so incredibly excited to be flying,
I know, and it feels wonderful, but it's like, even when I used to play like that and stuff, I still wanted to go home early because I knew I needed to rest after exerting all that energy. It's just, it takes a lot out of you.
Just trying to think of what's the highest point that you've ever suspended feeling from?
The highest point?
Yeah. Because I'm wondering if that would add to it, or subtract it. Because I don't think that at that point, I don't think the adrenaline of being in ropes is going to have anything added or subtracted to it by the verticality of your position.
See, I do mostly performance bondage, so isn't usually the height. And I like to have full control of my bottom. I don't like to use a winch. I don't want to be hoisting anybody up. I don't think that's okay.
It's okay.
Well, I don't want anybody to get a sudden drop.
I've been a winch and I've used a winch, and I'm good with both of them. So.
Okay. All right. You can be the beer winch at my next block party.
I have a costume for that.
That is so cool.
Yeah, too. I have one in pink and one in green.
That is awesome. But when I would perform for V Society, I would actually.
And that's that club on Melrose? Was that what it was? Or
I don't know. It's Parishing. One of his things that he was doing. I don't even know if they still do it anymore. It was like every Wednesday night. And I would go down there, and of course, there's no hard point. So I would go up to the second story, and I would suspend from the railing up there. and there was a bench down below. So I did mostly self-suspension, but I would suspend people there too. So I would stand on the bench and bring myself. So it's like once I swung out, there was no touching the floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know, when I first started doing this with Nikki, and she was like, "I don't think we can form there. They don't have a heart point." I always heard it as heart point. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know you're going to or away from the heart when you're tying people. I remember that. I remember it's one or the, I don't remember which one it is. I mean, I completely remember which one it is, Nikki, because I pay attention.
Yes.
But I'm in for it. Sorry, I haven't been in 12 of these classes. It's the adrenaline is what it is. It confuses me. I want to be suspended by something so tall, I think is originally what I was going to say. Like, I see these construction things in Hollywood where they're, taking care of the Capitol Records building. I'm like, just once. I would just love to 5, 6, 7 stories up in the air.
Oh, I've known people that suspended off of bridges 100 feet up in the air and stuff like that. And it's showboating, and they use a winch, and it's gorgeous, and their photos are fabulous. I've done weird guerrilla shoots where you go out in the wilderness and do stuff like that.
That would be great, because then that for me would feel like it's a heart point. Is what I say. It's like, oh, you're in the heart of the city. I'm hanging up from there, but hard point. It's just a
hard point.
It's just a thing you can hang.
It's a point that is solid. For instance, if it's a hard point in a club, it's not going to be an eye screw. It's going to be something that's actually bolted through a beam or a good support, something that is able to handle moving weight and has been tested, for the strength. It's got the right equipment hanging off. It's got the right winch. I don't usually care for electric winches. There's just too much that can go wrong with them. If I have to use a winch, I want to block and tackle, because I can control that. Do
androids dream of electric winches? Thank you. Okay, I'll let bad science fiction joke go. Sorry, it was cute. Right there.
Imagine that they do.
I would think they would.
Yeah, and for all those androids out there, we happen to have this really shapely cage that we suspend off of ours. Give you the hots. So questions, Mel?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are watching the show and coming to the chat room. Darren, Tiger's in the room. Justin was in the room. But there's Tiger says XX as someone who is afraid of heights. Nope. Thank you for sharing, Tiger.
Aw, Tiger. The heights aren't the thing you should be scared of. It's the ground that's the problem. So I don't know if that helps, but
yeah, Tiger. I have this discussion in my rope classes all the time, because newbies are all like, "I want to suspend," and
if they sound like that, they have other issues.
Well, they do. But it's a suspension, whether it's an inch off the ground or 1,000 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
If you absolutely have to do it and you don't have the knowledge, well, suspend him an inch off the ground. It's a lot safer. A fall, an inch fall is a whole lot different than 1,000 feet.
Not as fun.
Well, God, no. Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you do that, wear one of those like bat suits, so that if you do fall, you can fly. The squirrel suits. Absolutely.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Oh God, I'm so dying to try one of those. But
you know what you should try? You should try the water ski boards.
Yeah.
It's like a skateboard,
yeah,
but it has 4 jets that come out of it, and it's attached under the skateboard to the back of a speedboat. And as they fly, the water goes through the pipe, and it pushes you up in the air, so you're riding a skateboard on top of the ocean.
That's kind of cool. That's very cool.
Has nothing to do with shibari, but it's still pretty great.
I don't know. I mean, that's fun.
So can I tell you something that's weird then? Because you're talking about the hard point thing.
Yeah.
I had this thing where, because again, I'm a hobbyist. This is something that I've maybe been suspended 27 times, and 9 for performance, and I'm just really lucky that people seem to respond to it and want to see more. And I will do it for as long as I'm physically capable of doing it. But I was asked to perform at this nightclub and I don't want to say who did it because it's a very nice person and wasn't intentional in any way. And it was supposed to be a themed night, so there was a story. I'd made costumes. And when we got there, I was asking about the hard point because at this point I knew what a hard point was because, total pro. And he said, I'll talk to Nikki about that when she gets here. And I'm always having to let people know, hey, I'm not in a dom-sub relationship. Hey, I'm not top. I mean, I don't mind telling people, I mean,
but they usually do want to talk to the rigger. It has
exactly.
nothing to do with
and
you
I know it has
personally.
nothing to do with me personally.
No, because
But
as the rigger, they better talk to me.
Was a hard point. My wish was, is there one? And I'm like, and so he waited, and me and Nikki got there, and he talked to her, and it turned out that there wasn't. And he was like, can you just throw a rope over one of the beams here? No. And then the question was, well, you don't need to do that. Why don't you just tie her to a chair and you can strip her and spank her? And for me, it just made me feel so sad. Not for anyone who does that. That's awesome. I am super pro stripping and spanking. Lord love all of you who do it and who've done it for me or whatever. But I think of myself when it comes to this as a performance artist.
Yes.
And whatever stripping and spanking goes on before the flying in the ropes is for the audience. Because very honestly, unless you really love shibari, if you're sitting 15 feet away on a stage, you're not really going to get that excited by just seeing ropes tied. Usually that's why you have to have music or pasties or
that's
something.
why, they tell me you better be done in 20 minutes, hon. So I've learned to tie really quick. And
you have to do it really fast. But I felt bad because I still have trouble making people understand the difference between what I like to do on stage and what may or may not I like to do in my private life. And I wonder, your life seems pretty blended. Like you seem to have who you are in bed and in life and in career and on stage, all one person. And I don't think I've ever been one person. And
I'm an artist.
You are an artist. Do you think the shibari, does it tie all of those bits of you together?
Well, it does. I never realized how much of an artist I was and that I've been one all my adult life until I did the Smut Art Show last month. And they had me do my performance art, the bondage and stuff. But I've also been making a living from my fine art and stuff and all the crazy things that I've done in performance art pieces and stuff. I flitter in and out of some sort of performance all of my adult life. I sang with a caroling group for 17 years.
You only have to do it at Christmas, right?
Oh, but it's so much
really
fun.
Long time.
It's so much fun, getting all dressed up. It's like it's just not Christmas for me unless I'm singing Christmas songs in July.
That's awesome. I support enthusiasm.
That's the best time to sing it because everybody's so much happier. They're not cold. Is there any questions, Mel?
There's a statement, and it's from Tiger. Well, I would rather be suspended a few feet off the ground, but certainly not from one of those crane hooks things over Hollywood. I would probably faint. Ha 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 ha.
Well, the good news is if you faint, then it's over. Then you're just going to wake up on the ground and you'll be fine. No, I'll take being suspended anywhere. I do. I took a bunch of pictures down in Whittier a couple of months ago of these abandoned buildings that I thought it would be great to be suspended in. It's the flying. I love the photographs that come out of it. I wish to God I had any kind of decent video of any show I've ever done.
Oh, well, the video of you that Disco Ball, that is the only video I have. The only. Every time
Eric Bird for that video.
And thank you, because it's like every time I've tried to have a scene film, something has gone awry, and I never got the video, or this is the saddest story of all. I brought my
this
video.
Involves a dead kitten in some way. I don't want to hear it. That's the saddest story of all, because that is the saddest story of all. Well,
not a real kitten.
Okay, maybe I'll hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Had this great scene and anyways, I instructed somebody to, film my scene. And I said, you only need to, I'm the last scene. Don't turn the camera on till then and everything. Well, for whatever reason, in his mind, he thought I said, film the whole show.
Oh, so he ran.
So he filmed on and right before my scene, the camera ran out of battery. Oh, no. And of course, I was going on stage and didn't have time to go find the damn cord to plug it in.
Mine is that it's always security guards telling the people who came there with me that they're not allowed to film it.
Oh, jeez.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, all I'm doing is drumming up business.
I know, but usually it has to do with.
Oh, I bet it's who else is there, right?
Yeah. Well, see, this is what we
Yeah,
the problem we have in the rope classes that I teach. Like down at Sanctuary, it's like you need to go do your pictures in the jail cell away from everybody.
Can we tell most actors that? That would be great. Because I'm really sick of seeing headshots being taken all over Fountain.
But well, it's because it has these mirrors set up there in the corner. That way, the sub can go in there. They can see what it looks like from behind, and if they're really snappy with their camera, they can get a picture of the back of the bondage in the mirror and the bondage in the front of the body. It's not that hard to do. I do it all the time. But the reason we have them do that is there's a lot of people in the scene that can't have their face out there for a variety of reasons. Some people are just embarrassed, and those people are fucking amusing. And I'm sorry, I should make fun of you, but I do love humiliating people.
Oh, please. There are going to be 20 friends of mine who are going to watch this right now who will never mention it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even bother posting a lot. Like even the super. I just think what I do is really pretty, and I don't know.
I know people. Yeah, they're funny because it's a little bit taboo, I guess, in some circles still.
Which I don't understand. I mean, no, I completely understand why a lot of this is taboo. Like, but I would think that people would, give your friends a shot. Like you're saying, like people being scared of stuff too, and I have that as well. Like. I understand that when you take your picture in a club. Mm-hmm. I get that. But I don't think it's weird to support your
friends. There's all different reasons. Some people do actually have jobs where it would be detrimental if their picture was taken in a club or in a class or doing anything.
Like that time you and I strung up Tom Cruise in that cage and then just pelted him with like vodka soaked rags.
I know.
Yeah.
God, who would want that on film?
I know. Well, I don't know. Mr. Spielberg shot it. You would think at some point we're getting the rushes, but no, I guess not.
I know. But you know how it is.
Probably over budget.
Any more questions in that chat room, Mel?
The reason why they didn't put the film out is because the Scientology wanted to own it.
Oh, that's right. That's true. Also filmed on Fountain. Then, that makes sense what a center is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you think they spent all that money on Battlefield Earth? They could throw in a little bondage movie. But...
I know.
By the way, I see you picked up the John's style from Battlefield Earth. The hair there, nice job.
Like that.
So, do you get bored and ever rope your wrist with that?
Yeah.
I actually, this is how bad Nikki's been for me now. Like, as if I weren't carrying a shit around with me every day, like 5 costume changes and my laptop and books and God knows what else. I also now have rope with me wherever I go.
That's cute.
I have never learned how to lock off a single column tie because every time I get close, I screw up. So
So is it synthetic rope then?
Yeah.
You have to lock that down right, or it
just will not do it. So here is my promise.
Here's a little bit more forgiving in that.
This is my public promise to everyone out there. As of tomorrow, I will not just be a mostly incompetent rope bunny and stunning rope performance artist.
Yes.
I will know how to finish the simplest possible shibari tie after only 2 years of halfway paying attention. So that is my promise to you, America.
Well, that is awesome, but I hope that you choose to remain a rope bunny because there just aren't enough enthusiastic rope bunnies out there.
I see sad ones. We were at Ren Fair 2 weeks ago, and it was this dom and her sub, and the dom was trying to tie her by the wrist, and it was just so sad. It was just so sad, It was so sad I felt like I had to walk up and say something. Mm-hmm. So I did, which was, follow me, I'm taking you to Nikki. Mm-hmm. And so I dragged them halfway across Ren Fair so that Nikki could teach this master how to, properly tie up her slave. That shouldn't have to happen.
No.
What kind of world do we live in where that's necessary? That in the Middle Ages, one has to find a bondage expert to help a slave.
That's just ridiculous.
That really seems unfair.
Because I've been watching Daniel Boone in the mornings.
Oh, really?
They tie people up a lot.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, people should have their double column tied down. They're really good at it. They all have the one and it does the wrap in the middle. It's amazing. Maybe that's where I learned to tie from.
I did a really crappy single column tie on Sunday night for Game of Thrones. We had a
Did
big
you?
party for Game of Thrones, and this week it was a game called Find Jaime Lannister's Golden Hand.
Oh,
And if you
my.
found the severed hand made of gold, you won a big prize. If you found the bloody hand that was severed, you had to wear it around your neck and then have one arm tied behind your back for the show. That's what one arm tied behind your back looks like.
Nice.
Yeah.
So which one?
And he did it.
He
It was
did it?
great. Yeah, yeah. It's
Nice.
this great producer here. Like one of the movies he made a couple years ago is awesome. I saw it 3 times.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, it was kind of great. You know, it doesn't matter what you do, like, you know, or where you are, you know, everyone gets a little kick.
That's so much
Even if it's
fun.
by association.
Well, I know we're getting to the end of the show. If you can believe
Nope.
that.
Nope, we're going to stay.
We're
No,
gonna
I'm sorry.
stay?
We're going to be running along tonight. My apologies to David Letterman.
Yes,
and to Jon
somebody's
Stewart,
on a roll
yeah.
here.
On a roll.
She's on a roll.
Crumbs everywhere. Oh my God. I've got butter on
She
my
sits
ass like
right on
Marlon
that hot
Brando.
cross bun right there.
Exactly.
Any questions, Phil?
No, they're just in the chat room. Tiger says she's naughty, and the other people have not, you know, because I post in there if she's naughty or nice.
Oh,
And,
are we voting to see if I'm naughty or nice?
Well,
Yeah.
we generally do that with
Do
our
I know?
guests.
Are we voting? Do we get to vote if I'm naughty or nice?
Well, if you
Do you
want,
get a? Well, what's your vote? I want to know what your vote is.
you're delicious.
Oh, I am. I agree with her.
Absolutely
Yeah.
delicious. And I do need to tie you sometime.
You really do.
Again, yes.
You can
yes.
probably tell you what. If I completely fail in my promise to the world and I'm
Yes.
incapable of learning that single time column, I'll be getting you to teach me before I admit that to Nikki.
Okay.
I'd also like to say hi to my mom if she's out there. Hi, Mom. If you're not and you're watching this tomorrow morning,
We can
I'll
go a
call you in
little
the
longer if
afternoon.
you guys want to. We can go a couple more minutes.
Couple
Oh.
more minutes.
Yeah, there's some more people that came in that are watching it that have just signed on, so
Oh, nice.
you know. they're not in the chat room. I'm going to shame them to death.
Yes.
Get-
shame
well,
them.
Yeah.
not to death. Then there's no point. Just
Oh,
shame
that's
them
right.
to action.
Shame them into action, right? Make you
Yes.
feel guilty.
So, are there any ties that you've ever wanted to do that you haven't been able to do because you didn't have the right model or enough people?
That's a good question.
While you're thinking about that, I can tell you
Well-
where I want to do. I want to be suspended from the chandelier tree in Silver Lake.
I would like that.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's this beautiful, huge tree with these thick branches, and it's like perfectly symmetrical almost all the way
now
around.
here's the problem with
Real chandeliers hanging, and the
that.
person's
Is
like,
beautiful. Well, and it's privately owned.
privately owned. They even have a little box there. It's a landmark. You can donate money to it, and they do
Okay.
photo shoots for weddings in front of it.
Yeah, because if it's not a privately owned tree,
Mhm.
if it like belongs to the state, then no, you can't suspend from it.
Well, I know that legally you can't suspend from it, but you'd be amazed at how unlikely people are to come bother you if among your giant costume collection you also own a park ranger's uniform.
Well, that's true, but you know what? I kind of have to respect Mother Nature on this one.
What am I going to do with Mother Nature that's going to hurt Mother Nature?
You could get arrested for wearing a uniform that you don't really have.
Well, actually, if you look at it very carefully, it looks just like park ranger, except for it says pork ranger. So technically, it's not illegal.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. Well, no, it's just that we need trees because trees make
I'm not going
air.
to cut a tree down.
Yeah, but it can get damaged, and if it dies, and that's
Oh, no, we the pictures we took are all those dead trees from the fire.
oh,
If you look at them, you can see like there's giant fallen down trees, and they lean up against. This is
now
my
that's
physics here.
beautiful.
Yeah, there's a big hill. Tree leans against hill,
Mhm.
so it forms its own natural sort of frame for the
Mhm.
photograph. You suspend from the branch of the tree. I'll do it for you people on this side.
Mhm.
So I'm hanging in the triangle between the fallen tree, ground, and no. I can't like the live trees have bugs all over them in Griffith Park this time of year.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Mhm.
things that suck, being tied up and unable to move while hanging from a tree, and fire ants are crawling down a rope at you.
Yes.
That's a damsel in distress.
yes.
That's me
yes, I've been
actually
there.
becoming a damsel in distress.
Mhm.
I don't like that.
No, it's not fun.
I'd rather badly pretend to be a damsel in distress. Oh no, please, sir, no, I'm scared. No, I
That's
tried.
good.
That was
You
like the
did.
best I could do.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
try. That honestly, that was a good try.
Yeah.
No, but I'm always up for some new suspension or something. You know, I love intriguing. I love when people bring their ideas to me. You know, because it's like, you know, you have an idea, you know, or you saw a picture, just bring it to me. I can recreate it. Matter of fact, I will probably embellish on it and make it better.
I have this rope dress I want to wear to Labyrinth of Jareth this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really psyched to do that if I can pull it off.
Yeah, I tie rope dresses.
Yeah. I saw quite a couple people there last year in like full shibari like suits and shit. It was really
it's
impressive.
amazing. Yeah, it's so easy to design shibari clothing, or you know, rope clothing actually. You know, because it's just a series of, you know, little square knots and diamonds and fringes and wraps and weaves.
Like that's so much compared to like anything I end up wearing in performance. You know, wraps and weaves and this and that's like by the time I'm in rope, there's like this much material left of my entire outfit. So yeah. But I can't move in rope with clothes on though as well. They catch and they tear, and I don't want to be naked suspended either, because that will definitely get me arrested in Griffith Park.
Yes, it will.
What? Was that mysterious cat again?
Naked.
So yeah, I guess if I'm having to look, you know, we talked a lot about this, and I'm still so happy you let me come like over here tonight, because this is good. All I want though is for there to be a heart point or a hard point, either one, like right up there, and then I can just do like half the interview, like.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Trying to look cool, seeing if I can pull that off.
Yeah, that hook in the ceiling would not handle it.
No. And that's another fun tip for people out there. Do not think that just because you can find the various support beams of your house and your ceiling that they will hold you, or even me.
No.
I'm 115 pounds, which is in shibari suspension, that's 345 pounds, because when you have a moving suspension weight, it's the physics equivalent of 3 times the natural weight.
Yeah.
Which I did not know when I tried to install a suspension hook in the ceiling of my attic. If anyone would like to come fix the ceiling in my attic, then that would be a
real issue.
Big hole where the ceiling used to be, and part of a shibari hanging off of it.
Wow. Yeah, I know people, they look at structures like I know somebody that has a beam going across in their apartment, and it looks like it should hold it. And I'm like, honey, I need to see the blueprints before I can that.
Because if it's not anchored on, I'm enough of a redneck to be
that about because I'm like, if that is not an actual support beam that can hold, that is weight bearing, it's not going to work, you know. And she's, well, why not? And it's like, trust me.
I saw a great guy who had his, you probably knew him. He used to live downtown. He moved back up north. Big, tall guy. He had his entire loft downtown LA. The ceiling of it was just rigged with nothing but suspension points. And they were interconnected in such a way that if he had it like on a dog chain, you could move to almost any other part of the apartment through the grid on his ceiling.
Oh, that's amazing!
I'd never seen anything like it. It was really that was my first standing suspension that I ever did, and that's when I learned that I am more competitive than wise. When it comes to taking care of my body. That was the time where I went too far.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah, I decided to do the only time I've done the Madonna style cone wrapping rope tighter and tighter. Do it backwards, tighter and tighter.
Right, yeah.
And way too tight for way too long, and trying to suspend from them. And and I'd already been trying to practice doing rope, and I wasn't getting it right. So I'd already bruised myself. And then was trying to figure out how to do it better with someone else. And I ended up, I looked like Jupiter. Like I had 2 big, completely disgusting purple and black, like for almost 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
And then 3 months later, I went to a nightclub in Atlanta that had lots of like black light, and I was wearing a low cut shirt, believe it or not, and you could still see the bruises underneath the skin. I couldn't believe it, and that was really like, that was probably the worst. And the best is still probably performing at Sanctuary and Flying Bear.
Oh yeah, and they've got a very nice hard point. They really do. Yeah, and plus I personally checked on the safetiness of that. They have shirted up. They have a safety chain. I want them to put the second safety chain back up for overkill, but it is very safe. And I know whenever I do suspend out of that, I still look up and I check it because I just don't do a static suspension. It's like I swing them out. They're spinning. It's like, I love pushing people all the way out that age.
Do you find a hard time with hard limits when you have someone suspended and they're moving? Like if they have a thing where don't touch this part of my body?
I rarely have people that have that much of a limit. Usually if it's a limit, it's an actual physical limitation. Like I have one girl that she had a whiplash here, and she's had a few of them. She's a bike rider. We can no longer do anything on the upper body. We can't do a chest harness. So I basically just do that drum harness on her, which works great. She can fly and go all over the place. But, that's the kind of limits that I'm usually working with, is something actual physical that we've already adjusted the bondage for. But once they're in the air, it's like I almost always have permission to pretty much do what I want. That's a given. That's usually cleared ahead of time.
I don't have that many hard limit. I mean, I have some basic like moral hard limits about some things. Well, but my only hard limit is whether it's in sex or if you're sitting next to me on the couch or suspension, just don't touch my toes. I can handle it on most of my feet. My toes, even as a baby, I would kick my mom in the face when she tried to do the 10 Little Piggies thing.
Yes.
Like I just can't handle it, and I find it sometimes because I'm spinning, and it's easier, I think, for you as the rigger to keep an eye on me as your suspendee than it is for me spinning at 360 degrees to keep an eye on you. And it's just, I find that I get my feet touched so often, not by you and not by Nikki and not by Damon Pierce, who is also
great.
He's
awesome.
Oh my God, we had the best time. If anybody wants to see a documentary that Eric Min Swenson shot about Damon, I'm in one of them. You can Google EMS, Tiffany and Rope. I mean, that was an awful lot of fun. I mean, working with him, but even then,
he's going to be on this show in May.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he is.
Oh, tell him to bring the paddle I made for him.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Because I custom wood burn spanking paddles and other wood stuff for people. So it looks really cool. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, but a hard limit like that, of course I would respect that.
It's so funny because I had a friend of mine.
There are people that, they're like, people can't have their belly touched. And it often isn't so much the genitalia. You'd be surprised how many people are like, oh yeah, ravage me. But
try when a woohoo knot for 6 hours. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but there are certain other parts of the body that it just gives them the willies, or it's just something that, and there's a lot of people that tickling is really a hard limit for them. It's not comfortable. Yeah,
tickling. I wish I'd known the phrase hard limit about years ago, because I just never really cared if someone really I was just always. I also still like the whole blowing into people's belly buttons. I just find that hilarious.
Yes, the wet willy and the belly button.
Yeah.
Yes, Schwerberts.
Just could not be any funnier.
But no, not everybody gets that.
No.
But it's like I like to take them by surprise.
I like to take people by surprise as well, but in this state they call it rape.
She's a bad girl.
Am I getting too naughty now?
Did she get all nice? Did she get all naughties, or did they say she was nice?
Naughty.
Hey!
She's definitely
That's exactly what the love tester at the Santa Monica Pier said earlier this week.
You're a naughty.
No, it's 10 things you can choose from, and I was naughty. Uncontrollably naughty. Yeah.
Uncontrollably.
Right? I don't think I'm uncontrollably naughty. I think I'm very controllably naughty.
You're controllably naughty.
I think so. If I were uncontrollably naughty, that probably would have been stopped in its tracks by now. Because I have a lot of energy, and me being completely uncontrollable, I don't think that's good for anybody. I don't think anyone being completely uncontrollable is good for anyone.
Yeah, it usually isn't. At least to,
That's why we have to rope them and tie them and keep them from being
tie
free.
them down. Yes, glue traps and all that wonderful stuff. Hey, any more questions now? Because I think we kind of need to wrap this up.
No more questions. Little T is coming to the chat room. Say hello to Little T.
Hi, Little T. Welcome.
Yeah, I think that it's a wrap.
Okay. Any announcements for TSR?
No, not that I know of at the moment. I'm kind of, mellow, as people know that, things are mellow. So
yes.
Yeah. but everything's okay.
That is good. Well, I'll be teaching a rope class tomorrow at the Lair de Sade. I teach there every Wednesday night from 8 to 10 if you guys want to get your rope on. And yes, I do actually teach some actual shibari ties, but I'm a person that likes to mix it up. I like to teach practical bondage. I want to teach you something that you can use and impress that one. And let me see what else. My guest next week is going to be Big Daddy.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
looking forward to that. That is going to be fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun questions to ask him. And let me see, anything else going on? Oh, I'll be performing at Bar Sinister on Saturday night.
Oh, sweet. I wish I was going to be in town.
Yeah.
I'm going camping.
Oh, really?
I'm going to miss you, though.
Oh.
It's full moon. So that'll be
Really?
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that should be fun then. Yeah.
It's also Beltane, so it's a good night to perform.
Nice.
A little bit of magic in the air.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that'll be fun. I have a really cute outfit planned.
See, costumes. It's all about costumes.
Yes, it is all about costumes. Yeah. What?
There is an announcement.
There is an
There is an announcement.
Yeah. My birthday's May 2nd. So this Saturday.
Yes.
Hey.
Happy birthday to Rev Mel.
So I don't know if I'm going to go to the Lair and celebrate it with my friends. I don't know. Haven't made a decision. So yeah, my birthday.
Oh,
Hey,
my
congratulations.
goodness.
My friend Andy's birthday is on May 2nd as well. No,
We're
it's not.
awesome people.
That's not right. It's May 5th.
May
Never
5th?
mind.
Oh, she's on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm debating whether next week, we might need some margaritas. It is Cinco de Mayo. You like margaritas, Mel?
Yeah.
No? Yes?
I don't
I'm
know.
not allowed to drink
I-
tequila in public anymore.
You're not? What happened?
I'm a redhead with a temper. Let's leave it at that. The vow was not made by choice. The vow was forced upon me by others, and more than one of the others. Several others in a group over the period of weeks.
Oh.
Yeah. I lose cell phones.
You do?
I do. Yeah.
Oh.
And not just mine.
Oh my goodness, you
Yeah.
lose everybody's cell
Yeah.
phone.
More announcements?
No. Other than, it's time to wrap it up. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you, Anja Knees. Mwah!
Oh God, they're gonna make out. Bye-bye.
Mm.
That was a lot of fun.
It was.
I got lipstick on you now.
I know.
Yeah.
I can feel.
Oh, man.
We're still running.
Oh, we are? Hi, everybody.